Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is still your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Reach out to me directly. I am T Mosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a watch that I absolutely adore, originally launched in the year 2000. This is the Chopard L.U.C Chopard Quattro. So the L.U.C collection of manufacturer movements, this grew out of the work that Chopard did with Michel Parmigiani in the mid-90s to become a true manufacturer. But this watch goes way beyond a manufacturer movement. I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that if this were branded Patek Philippe, it would be a six-figure watch. Why is it? Stay tuned. In rose gold, 38 millimeters in diameter, 9.8 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, a very reasonable 46 millimeters. And then you can see between the lugs, we have a 21 millimeter spacing, thrown it on the wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference. You're going to find that this is an outstanding fit. It's not excessively broad across the wrist, which you can see well here. And because the lugs do have a tightly down-curved shape, you can see the camber, how they wrap around my wrist. I can recommend this watch for wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. There's your over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch. And then here's your down the barrel, which is always more definitive concerning how much clearance is on each side of the wrist. There's your cuff shot. The watch is almost completely flat and under 10 millimeters thick, so it'll slide beneath the dress cuff, no sweat. The strap is high grade, as you can see. This is a Chopard factory strap, and Chopard is doing things the way the best brands are doing it these days, where we have small round scale alligator on the bottom and then larger rectangular scale on the top. The result being gator on the bottom creates a longer lasting strap, significantly longer lasting. It costs a few $100s more, but easily worth it on a watch of this caliber. The black is semi-gloss. You can see it has a sheer cut side. There's a monotone stitch. We have a fluted, polished, and Chopard branded matching rose gold pin buckle. You can see the buckle was made by Broggioli, because that's Broggioli's maker's mark right there. Taking a quick look at the case, you can see this is a limited edition. This is a 1,860 piece edition, which is an important date, 1860, the founding of Chopard. And then rolling around to the case flank, you can see that the lugs are strong, almost like what you'd find on a sports watch. They're sheer, they're tall, relatively narrow when viewed end on, fully polished with a roll to the top. There's no distinct bevel here, but there is a soft crease that defines the hood of the lug. It then continues through the mid case. As you can see, the bezel is somewhat stepped in to create the perception of an even thinner watch, and everything here is polished. We have the L.U.C Chopard logo on the crown, which looks a little bit like a dog bone, but things get exciting on the dial side. Now, what you can see, we have gold hand and gold dart style indices. The hands, let's not get confused here, they are superimposed right now, but I assure you there are two hands. There we go. Now, the dial is cut on a rose lathe. So you can see that is all real reductive guilloche, that spectacular rosette at the center. And this is old school handcraft to make the dial. There are also quite a few features of this dial. You can see the track outboard is on a different plane. That's the minutes track outboard. It's on a different plane than the satin finished hour track, which has those faceted dart style indices, and all of that is distinct from the plane of the mono counter for the date and the seconds, and that is a concentric pattern at center and a dental pattern around the edge. There's also a dental bordering to the rosette. And finally, we have the Chopard marquee and a power reserve indicating 8 days, though these will in fact run for 9. Now, we do have two subsidiary setting modes. Hard to demonstrate with the gloves on, but the watch features a quick set for the pointer style date as well as hacking seconds for the seconds hand. And you will want that because this movement is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer and is very precise. It is called the Quattro because it has two pairs of stacked mainspring barrels, so 4 mainsprings, 9 days of power reserve. It beats away at 4 hertz, and then you can see that it's a 39 joule movement adjusted in 5 positions and a hot and cold. Again, COSC certified Swiss chronometer caliber 98.01L. And it features the Geneva hallmark, which means you're getting a double certification, chronometer as well as Geneva hallmark. The stripes on the bridges are narrow and many and beautiful. And you can see that the bevels on the edge of the bridges, while somewhat difficult to demonstrate on camera, they are incredibly bright, mirrored, and authentic. All screw heads have been black polished with their slots and circumference chamfered, and you can see that the beveling has also been applied within all of the jewel sinks, giving them a nice glossy gleam. We have a black polished stud holder and black polished swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. There is engine turning on the base plate. We have solarization on the barrels and then satination on the wheels. It is very, very impressive, and it is very, very hard to find better value in ultra haute de gamme watchmaking. This watch, an absolute unappreciated gem from a company that everyone agrees is great, but somehow still manages to be underrated. Hey, get one before everyone else finds out. This is an incredible value. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. One more thing, 30 meters water resistant, but I think you know better than to test that theory.